Mass, I sat on my balls. This story's fascinating. Who wants to live like this?
Not that different.
No, you know,
not that different.
Absolutely not. A full-blown torpedo.
Sid from Toy Story 1.
You know, they fucking did. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining in on the first episode of the 40 Years and 40 Beers podcast. I'm Bob Bain. This is my co-host, Joe Massi. I'd like to welcome you guys to hopefully a long journey throughout our lives in our 40s and just talking about, what goes on in 40-year-old men's lives and what our thoughts are.
Everything and nothing at all.
Absolutely. Cheers, buddy. So what's going on? How's the family?
Good, man. My son locked himself in his room as we got here, and I thought I was going to have to leave, but...
Well, I mean, the problem is just what we're going to talk about. It's just life gets in the way. You know, that's what we're going to talk about here. Just hopefully we have a lot of laughs, a lot of people like what our content's going to be. If you don't, hey, it's not going to be for everybody, but we're going to have some fun along the way.
Definitely not going to be for everybody.
I had a real over 40 moment. So I go to Wawa, get my coffee, come back, and I get ready to go sit in my chair. All right? I flopped down. Mass, I sat on my balls. Literally, they were hanging so low.
I'm telling you.
That it got under my thigh. Mass, I went down on the floor like it was the JFK assassination.
Yeah. You constantly have to adjust yourself. It happens to me all day, every day now. I can't, no matter what I'm doing, no matter what I'm wearing.
Wait, this happens to you on a regular basis?
Yes.
This was a one-time thing.
No. Constantly, because I guess the 6D is for the dimensions. I don't know, but it's called 6D massage. The lady says, do you want gentle or vigorous? And I said, vigorous. And she's like, do you want your arms trapped? And I said, am I going to be able to scratch an itch? She's like, oh yes, we only lock one arm at a time because you have to be able to hit the emergency button. Here, this is the chair. So you sit in this chair and your arms go underneath the iPad and underneath this control panel here. And there's an emergency button right there. And the balls come from under your butt, your whole back. When this thing rolled up my spine, my back cracked in 3 places the first time. And it does your feet. Cause look at I don't know if you can see the one over here.
Yeah.
Like with the feet and the calves and all. So your arms lock in, and it like air inflates and pressure goes on your arms and stuff. It was a phenomenal birthday gift. But my point of bringing this up is I needed to adjust when I first sat down in here, but they got a camera staring at you to make sure nothing goes wrong. Like I eventually got comfortable, but
I got to go back to not being one to adjust yourself at the camera. Like, hey, security, we have another guy flying himself. When did the pickle?
Listen.
But why is it on? Why don't I get the choice? Why
do you give a fuck?
Because I do. What if I don't like pickles? What if I'm allergic to pickles? What if I'm shit-faced hammered and I forget to take the pickles off? And now I go into anaphylactic shock and I'm swollen. Now there's a hospital visit. That is the Chick-fil-A ambassador.
When you have an allergy, you have to ask. The doctor asks every time what my kids have allergies to.
So I don't disagree with you, but I think what your point here is the strawberries are an ingredient, right, in something that's being made from scratch.
So is the pickle.
The pickle is a condiment.
What's the difference?
It's a topping that's being applied on top of the chicken. It's not being made with the chicken.
Strawberries can be a topping. They can be a condiment. They can be an addition
They can be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like in a salad?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what you're not going to sit there.
My point is, if you know you're allergic and you're going to go into shock, you take the pickle off or you tell them no pickles out of the gate.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now there goes my other topic. I have found out that apparently Chick-fil-A sandwiches, I don't know if Popeye's chicken's this way, it's brined in pickle juice.
Yeah.
When did this become okay?
Shout out to Brian Staley.
When did this become okay to assume that we want our chicken brined in pickles?
Well, that's unavoidable then. If you're allergic, no matter how many pickles you remove off the sandwich, you're fucked. You know what I mean? The chicken is soaked in pickle juice.
Exactly. So when you go to Wawa, right? Do you ever
From an allergy perspective, I can't eat at Wawa anymore after I got that because I can't. I get a chicken sandwich just like the one they make at...
And you were able to add the pickles, right?
Yes.
It wasn't automatic.
I see
Wawa
where you're going.
has figured out customer service.
But, like a week later, I went to Dunkin' Donuts on a Thursday morning, I'll never forget, and I tried the mini everything balls with the cream cheese inside of them.
Okay.
That night, like around 4 or 5 o'clock, I was bedridden Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That Monday, I was starting with a new boss at work.
Oh my God.
So I call out Monday. Tuesday, I haven't eaten anything in days. I haven't moved out of bed. So, like, April took my temperature. She thought I had a bad case of the flu, but I wasn't. I was sick to my stomach, but I wasn't throwing up.
Okay.
But I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything, and the fever was kind of going back. But like as a guy, like it takes a lot for you to go to the ER on day 1 or 2.
Yeah, no, not for nothing. I don't want to pay the $500 to go back.
So Tuesday comes around. Now I call out again. This is the second day with the new boss. So by day 3, you need a note. I drive myself to the ER. I'm on board my pike, Riddle's on my left, and I throw up. I open up the door and I throw up for the first time on the floor, on the street. I get there like 6:30 in the morning in the ER till 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Throwing up all day in the bathroom,
right?
in the lobby. You have hepatitis. You have gallstones that need to be removed. And something else. I forget. There were 3 things she diagnosed me with.
So it wasn't just a tune-up. You needed a whole new...
Yeah. And my gallbladder needs to be removed. She's like, your gallbladder needs to be removed. You have hepatitis, and you have two gallstones. So the nurse comes in, cordless phone from the 80s, cuz like the Zach Morris joint.
You could hear Joyce from down the hall.
She's like, your mother's on the phone. Now I'm all fucking hopped up on morphine. I'm in a thing like this, and I'm like, you serious? She's like, what do you mean? So I'm like, Mom, I can't do this right now. The nurse says, the gallbladder is useless. We're removing it immediately.
You know why this all happened? Because of the fucking pickles that you
because poop on food. So I'll get to that. So the nurse says...
I think it was the pickles. I truly do.
Then there was poop on the pickles. But the nurse says, your gallbladder is useless. We're removing it immediately. My sister-in-law Mickey is a doctor. Mickey FaceTimes me and she's like, she's not wrong, but it's a little fucking quick of a decision, blah, 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 blah. So the fucking gallbladder doctor comes into the ER and he's like, she's right, it is useless, and I would be removing it right now in between scheduled operations, but I can't operate on you while you have hepatitis. He's like, you would have to...
that's a punch in the face.
Yeah. He's like, you have to have no other issues before I fucking...
Now, did you know about this yet? Or did you now go, wait a minute, let's go back to this hepatitis thing?
No, she told me off the rip. She was like, you have hepatitis, your gallbladder needs to be removed, and then after that, you have stones.
Okay.
So, he's like, but I can't operate on you while you have hepatitis. So, I'm in there all week. Whatever tests they ran on me in the ER weren't as clear or sophisticated or easy to read as whatever they were able to do to me once they admitted me. So... by day 3, they're like, we just think you have, like, a severe case of hepatitis. So April goes, and she's like, how did this happen? And she was like, do you do anal? And she's like, no. She's like, well, then it was poop on food. So, I'm
sure April loved that question.
we're like, right in front of, I got a fucking roommate, he's snoring like a fucking grizzly bear, right in front of everybody.
He looked right up.
Motherfucker's deaf in 3 ears. As soon as she said anal, he perked up like this. So, she's like, no, we don't do anal. So she's like, well, then it was poop on food. And the doctor says there's no way what you ate that morning affected you that fast. He's like, the incubation period is 14 days prior. He's like, so you got to go back 14 days before you got sick. And that's the window of time where...
You're on your desk bladder.
What you ate. So, I think we had a christening. Nobody else got sick at the christening. But I work from home, and April cooks. So, no one else got sick. There's 6 people in the house.
It's like the kids aren't going to go, let's get daddy this week and let's shit on this shit.
So, it was like my last day in the hospital. I had, like, pockets of time where I wake up and I'm... I can see the people in the room and then I dip right back out.
Sounds like 2002.
So, I'm dreaming. And I'm eating so many chicken sandwiches, I can't breathe. And I wake up.
So that was it? You went that
I wake up. I text Poop. I'm like, dog, when did we go to fucking Wawa? And he gives me the date. And I'm like, that was the only meal I ate that no one else ate.
That's crazy.
Now, I paid with a gift card, so I have no proof that I was there. And the fucking Department of Health called. The minute that my diagnosis went into the hospital system, the Department of Health called April. They made them all get fucking shots, all get hepatitis shots, and they're like, you need to investigate this. You gotta find out how it happened. Blah blah blah. So she calls Wawa.
This story's fascinating.
The manager at Wawa wouldn't even get on the phone.
Really?
So he's telling her, the other guy's telling her, like, even if this was true, the fucking CCTV footage gets overwritten. So I'm like a week and a half, 2 weeks into figuring this the fuck out. There's no footage of me being in the place, and I paid with a gift card.
The guy who served has already been fired. You know what I mean?
So I'm like, and then like work is like, I had to go out on short term. And the hospital's like, give your fucking bills to Wawa. And I'm like, I can't even prove I was there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it was so crazy. But I'm like 99.9% sure that was the only meal I ate that no one else had. Poop just got cigarettes. Somebody didn't wash their hands after they got out of the bathroom. They made my fucking order. God knows how many other orders they made. Yeah. And I got jammed up. Yeah,
the one thing I do want to say, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and the one thing I do not ever want to do is turn this into anything political. We've discussed that. Yeah. But, you know, with everything that's going on in the country lately, everybody's so divided. I truly did think about this. All we need is the CEO of Chick-fil-A to run for president, and all of the United States' problems would be solved. It's the most well-run business I've ever seen in my life. There you go.
Look, Chick-fil-A waterproof hut. The girl comes around. She's ripping the receipt off. She's scanning your card. They're talking to people on the thing. It's crazy. They're so smooth over there.
I go to McDonald's and there's not one person in the drive-through. I can't get my meal in under 15 minutes.
Yeah.
There's 40 people on the Chick-fil-A line. It's maybe like 4 to 5 minutes from the time I order to get my food.
This is fucking genius.
It is genius. The guy is an absolute genius. All right, so we just heard about your near-death experience. You know, it's going to basically take you out in 20 years. That's going to be the return of the hat.
Allegedly, I'm immune now, so no more issues.
So the problem I have is I'm going to die of a heart attack in my home. I don't know if you've ever seen this. Have you seen the videos of my wife scaring me?
Oh my God, they're fucking fantastic.
Yes, this is all.
I wish I could bring one up.
I can't even go to the bathroom in peace. I got to go to the bathroom, and if I'm in there for 10 minutes or something, I got to sit there now and start calculating my route downstairs of where she could be hiding, where the phone is possibly going to be hiding.
You know.
One time she got on the fucking roof of the house. We had people over, all right? There's people over, we're in the backyard, everybody's watching baseball. Next thing you know, I hear a gunshot go off. My heart skips a beat. My left arm starts to tingle. And I look up, and she's on the roof laughing her ass off.
What's the gunshot from?
It's from the cannon, the color cannon, the confetti cannon she uses from Five Below. Have you seen these things?
Yeah.
God forbid she hides in a tree. It sounds like a .357 Magnum. And I'm sitting there now looking for Bradley Cooper from American Sniper. You know, wondering where the hell...
You got a red dot on your head, too.
You know what I mean? Like, when is she going to realize... The ticker's not what it used to be. It's not a 20-year-old ticker.
I will say it's hysterical until you drop dead, and then she'll be very upset. But my favorite part is what she does is every time it's your birthday, she'll post a fucking collage of all the different scares. And sometimes there's video, sometimes it's just you fucking frightened in a still picture. They're fucking fantastic.
Because there's times I have taken a fall. And instead of being, oh my God, are you okay? She's laughing her ass off. Yeah. What if I hit my head and have a brain bleed? You know? What if I hit my coccyx bone? You know? Like, and I'm in a ton of pain. But she thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. Next thing you know, she's 2 minutes away from collecting a life insurance check. You know? Yeah. I don't understand why she thinks it is so funny to do these things to me. Who wants to live like this? Who the fuck wants to live like this?
In my own home.
In my own home.
Where my wife sits, right? Where my kids play with their toys.
I go outside, do my little business, you know. I come back in, trying to relax. Next thing you know, I'm on the floor, wondering if I need an EKG.
Yeah, but there's no, like, if she's fucking on the roof at a party, you're not safe ever. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say to yourself, like, oh, we got company, she ain't gonna fucking pull nothing today.
This is my point. I always thought I was on anti-anxiety meds, right? Because I just had high anxiety. I have to take these pills every
Yeah,
day because
from
I'm
my
constantly
wife, yeah.
plotting if I'm going to get shot at by my wife with a confetti cannon. I don't know how I am going to combat this issue because one day I'm going to be in a hospital with the things on my chest and the doctor's going to go, I don't understand how this happened. And I'm going to have to sit there and go, well, doc.
Your last checkup was 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Everything was great.
Like, well, my wife likes to hide on the roof in the trash can. She popped out of the trash can before. Like Oscar. Like Oscar in the fucking trash. Popped out of the trash can.
You gotta play her game. You gotta get something that annoys her even more to get her to stop. That's the only way you're gonna get her to stop. Unless you fucking croak one day, but.
How do you feel about you're with your wife, you guys are having a little fun, right? Next thing you know, you kind of feel your wife's hand lurking a little bit.
Nah,
all right, you know where I'm going with
It's
this.
off limits.
So listen,
No.
I'm a big believer in this, all right? You have to try, people are married 20, 30 years, Things can't be the same.
Not married, but we've been together since 97.
There you go. Antoinette and I will be together for 20 years, in March. And, you gotta do certain different things sometimes.
Not that different.
No,
not that different.
Like a little flutter?
Nah.
Listen,
just the tip. Let's play a little game called Just the Tip.
Just the tip.
No,
so listen,
good.
and that's one thing I want to say to all men. Broaden your horizons. And your wife goes in to the first line on the pinky. Plays
The first crease?
The first crease.
Nah.
It's not there.
I'm judging that it's inappropriate by my standards. But, so clearly, you've done it. So, yeah. I mean, come on. So
there may have been a little around the opening.
I don't know. Little ring around the Rosie.
Little ring around the Rosie.
So, and if you hated it, my thoughts would be that you wouldn't be bringing it up right now. So clearly, you must have enjoyed it.
It's sometimes in the heat of passion.
Oh, so sometimes,
hold on.
means that it happened more than once. Sometimes means it happened more than once.
All right, you got it.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the heat of passion, it gets a little interesting. You know what I mean? You're like, You're like, oh, what's that? But here's the hard part. You always gotta make sure you remember, like, shit, I hope the dogs aren't in the room. You know what I mean? Because you don't know if it's her finger or did the freaking dog join you. You gotta make sure you keep the dogs out of the bedroom. But I think that's one of the problems too. I think that sometimes marriages might dissolve because things get complacent in the bedroom, right? Sometimes that little jump start. I'm not mad at you.
Throw
it in your horizon.
I'm not knocking the hustle. I'm just trying to learn from the situation and give everybody some context.
Well, listen. Everybody just needs to, be a little bit more open-minded. Yes, all right. A little rig around the Rosie, Bain, all right.
Do you let her go more than one crease?
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Okay.
And I don't even know that we've been to the crease. Right? I don't
even tell. You gotta trust her. Wait, okay, so let's back up a second. The woman who hides on the roof and shoots Five Below confetti guns at you.
Her completely.
You're trusting her to stop at the first.
Wait a minute. This is why I gotta trust her. So about 10 years ago, all right, going to the bathroom, all right, and all of a sudden there's all this blood. Okay?
Oh gosh.
So I tell Antoinette.
She's a fucking medical podcast.
She drives me down to the hospital. All right, I'm down at Riddle. All right,
yeah.
So
good old Riddle.
I go in, they get me in right away, and now all of a sudden I'm on my side. All right, so now this wonderful Asian male doctor comes in, gets me on my side. He's telling me, he's like, I think it might just be a big hemorrhoid. It might not be stomach cancer like I thought because I went into shock.
You immediately start praying to God.
Next thing you know, she says, all right, well, let's go get the gown on and let's get on the table. So I'm like, all right, I guess we got to go through this. Next thing you know, I'm on the side of the table. There's no finger anymore, Mass. I'm talking something that was probably a good 1.5 inches around in diameter. To go in and check it.
A tool? A camera? It was a camera?
It was a full-blown torpedo.
Oh, my God.
Right before insertion. Okay? She says, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, we're a teaching hospital. 3 residents come in, and now their nose away, like this, on the table.
Wait, are you...
Oh, I'm on my side.
Oh, no. See, I picture you... You know how, Sid from Toy Story 1... You know what I'm talking about? How he sleeps with his butt up like that? That's how I'm picturing you.
I'm on the side, so picture this, all right? I'm on the side of the table. Here's me laying here, all right? The doctor's standing up, doing the exam.
Yeah.
Well, now I got 3 students, interns, residents,
They can't
whatever.
see your face.
Yeah.
They all leave the room before they see your face. That's not that bad.
But they're all nose deep in the exam. Like it's puppy chow. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
They're,
fucked
it,
up. I mean,
I
it's
know
fucked
they
up.
have to learn. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
But you know what? This is something I have to consent to before I'm on the table. You know, you're already in that position, right? You're already.
They probably
defenseless.
told Antoinette when she called, cuz.
They fucking did.
Yeah.
She did me dirty that way, and all these years she never told me.
They had to have told her.
Oh my.
They had to have told her. You better go home and find out.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to start a fight tonight, but they definitely fucking had to mention that on the phone. Yeah, look at you just coming to that realization right now. I'm sorry.
This is all these years later, and it's finally hitting me.
Yeah.
That this was all a master plan from the beginning
Yeah.
to get me probed.
She's definitely keeping it live and spicy. You don't have to worry about that.
Said I was in Barnaby's in Havertown with my buddy Matt from work.
Now, how long
And-
ago was this?
I would say probably about 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm sitting there, and it's me and him. Well, there's this group of women, you know, who come in, and you can tell they're definitely probably, you know, early 40s, mid 40s, you know, very attractive women.
They're adults. They're middle-aged.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Well, the one woman who comes in, you can tell that she's, one, everything is selfie everywhere. She's
Yeah.
really not even engaging with her friends. It's all this, and she's literally like half naked. Okay?
Wait, where are you at? You're at
Barnaby's in
club,
Havertown.
though. You're
no,
in a bar.
well, it's Barnaby's in Havertown, you know. But I mean, Mass, to the point where, like, basically, I can see pretty much everything but her areolas and her nipples,
fuck
and
outta here.
yeah. And then
She's with a group of people?
she's with a group of women. So it just so happens that we happen to be sitting next to them, so we can, you know, you can kind of hear the conversations that are going on. So as they're talking, you know, I kind of get the understanding that she's divorced and blah blah. Well, then in the next breath, you hear her say to her girlfriends, like, you know, it's just tough out there. I can't find a good man. And right away, I start thinking, women should dress however they want. From what I understand, it empowers them, right? Embrace your sexuality. No one's telling you what to do and how to live your life. But if you want to meet a good man, you probably shouldn't be showing the goods to everybody on the internet, everybody at the bar.
There's kids there now.
Yep.
So you can't, as someone who could be their mother, you can't be running around in, you know, like, in dental floss and stuff like that. And
Or what about if you're even think about you're single,
right.
and you're at the bar, you're at, you know, watching a football game with your friends on a Saturday night. Group of women walks in, they're all single. The woman who's
You're not hitting on that one.
no, because right away
Yeah.
you're already thinking, man, you know what? She's high maintenance. I can already
Or she's fucking fishing for attention. She's trying to bait you into something.
exactly.
You
And
know
again,
what I mean?
I want to reiterate on this because I am not saying don't do whatever you want. You know,
Just don't be upset with the negative results.
exactly.
Right.
You know, like I wear tight clothing, wear form-fitting clothing,
Yeah.
wear the leather pants. You know, show cleavage. What I'm saying is leave a little bit for us to want to see later.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're in a venue and you're showing all of the jelly to everybody in the venue and everybody on the internet, why would anybody want to buy the donut? But then another thing that I really, I talked to our friend Michelle about this, and I don't want to say her last name, and I want to plug her business later when she gives us gives us permission. But she had a really good take on it. I mean, she was like, Bob, listen, you know, it's especially women today. Women are more beautiful, more youthful, more energetic.
Yeah, you ever see those posts, like, they'll put George Costanza up against somebody who's 20, 30 years old now?
Yep.
Yeah, like, generally speaking, we're trending
They're
in
more
a
young
better
active,
direction.
right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm 43 years old. You're 43. Don't you feel way younger and younger acting than your parents were at 43?
I still don't feel like an adult, dog. That's a topic for another episode,
Yeah.
but yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times in my mind I'm like, how the hell am I 43 years old? Because I don't feel it. And I don't even mean like as far as health-wise. There are times like my back hurts. Or
Sometimes I might feel it health-wise.
but like mentally.
Mentally, I'm like 7.
I say
Yeah.
this all the time. What I find funny, a 12-year-old boy finds
Yeah.
funny. You know?
Mentally, I'm a kid for sure.
But, you know, talking about the women and then in their 40s, you know, dress sexy.
So
Dress
wait, what
tasteful.
did Michelle say?
You know, a lot of it's about empowerment. You know, a lot of it is about confidence, which I think that goes back to my point about not being over the top.
No.
I think a woman who wears, if a woman has some features that she wants to, you know, to show off, you know, and she wears very tight-fitting clothing, classy clothing, in my opinion, isn't that enough? Because you know you look great. That gives you
First
confidence.
of all, enough is relative based on what the woman wants out of it. That's number one. Number two, I don't think it's confidence. I think it's confusion. Like, back to what you were originally saying. You can do all that stuff, but don't get mad at the end result. Be confident, not confused. Like, if you're confident enough to walk out of the house with that, and you're in a room, in a bar full of children, meaning they're all 20 years younger than you, then don't be confused by the result of you didn't go home with a 50-year-old man. You know what I mean? That's the gray area. That's that fine line between confidence and confusion. Like you're overly confident, and now you're confused about why things aren't leaning one side or the other.
Again, if that's what you want, if you want to be the center of attention.
But this woman didn't. That's what made you bring this all up.
Exactly. It was, you wanted to, it was so...
I'm telling you,
and it's such a fine line.
To be confused at like the end result. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's such a fine line, because don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I want women to be empowered. I think women deserve the same jobs men have. I've worked with women who are way smarter than I am.
Did you watch Wise Guy?
No. Did I? What's Wise Guy?
God,
What is
you're
that?
fucked up.
What is it?
Wise Guy is a documentary where...
Oh, I did, with David Chase. I did.
When he's sitting in the chair,
I did watch
was
that.
Fucking great.
And I love the fact how humble he is.
Yeah.
Where he was like, guys, I agreed to do this, and if I would have known that most of this was going to be about me, I would have never agreed. About how a lot of the stuff that was written into the show, especially for the kids and the home life, are things that happen in David Chase's home life.
They happen in somebody's home life.
Yeah, or one of the writers.
One of the writers said his mother used to live next door to someone who would run the water all the time. And I don't know, like, what the setup was. Like, if it was...
It was Olivia Sopranos.
When she's like, I'm living next to Gunga Din. But, like, I could totally picture my grandmother complaining about that. And, like, the fact that, like you're saying, like, and his mother complains about the neighbor running the water, and then it comes in, it makes its way into the episode.
Exactly.
Like, that's why... It was so fucking great, because all that stuff is real.
Everything was real. And you know what's funny? I remember, especially now in the days of hip-hop, I'm a hip-hop guy. I mean, as I've gotten older, I kind of listen to every genre of music. All right, Mobb Deep's a perfect example, right? They're from the Queensbridge Projects.
Wait, example of what?
Example of living the lyrics and things being true. Yeah. And that goes into the writing. Where now, in today's hip-hop world, right, you listen to these songs and you're like, these guys don't even know what they're talking about. They're just trying to make things sound good. And like the rappers of the 90s and early 2000s, if you listen, it was very similar to Bruce Springsteen.
They're quoting from real life.
When Bruce Springsteen wrote Philadelphia, right? For that, he came over here and researched Philadelphia to write the lyrics of the song. Yeah. Well, rappers in the 90s and early 2000s, they were rapping about things that were happening in their lives. Yeah. Poverty, struggles. God forbid they're in a gang, right? Drugs, selling drugs. Today, it's, I want to be...
Wait, did you watch Joe Coy when he's making fun? He's like, lifestyle.
Yeah.
But that's a fantastic comparison between the writing on The Sopranos and 90s hip-hop lyrics is pulling from real-life experiences and making it authentic.
All right, so with that said, conclude this first episode of 40 Years and 40 Beers podcast.
That's fun. I think if they could all be like this, I think that's my goal.
Yeah, I agree. And again, listeners, we appreciate all the support. We have over 200 followers in our first week.
I'm surprised how many people seemed interested, even like not even online, like just the people that we've been talking to privately. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree. It was a lot of. I think it's a big risk and an anxiety driver to put yourself out there like this.
Oh
right?
my God, dude! I felt like I was on coke all morning, like getting ready, the cameras and like all the different things, like that I remember to write chords.
So thank you guys. We look forward to giving you some content and some insight every 2 weeks. Right now, I think we're going to be bi-weekly.
Yeah, 2 times. I think we can commit to 2 times a month. But we got Massi Auto Body and PassionPost.com.
So we want to thank Massi.
South Philly.
Want to thank Massi Auto Body, as for being our first official sponsor. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate everything, and see you guys in about a week and a half.
See you next time.